There are a lot of security cameras to choose from out there, from cloud-connected Nest cameras, Ring has cameras, Waze cameras, and Arlo cameras. There's just a lot of brands out there making home security cameras. Now, one brand you're probably going to be hearing more about in the next few years because they're just going to keep getting bigger is eufy. Now, if you're unfamiliar with eufy, you're probably more familiar with their parent company, Anker. Anker is a really reputable brand for phone accessories like chargers, wireless chargers, as well as laptop accessories. So in this review, I'm going to take you through how the eufy Cam-E system has held up over the past 6 months, what the top features of the system are, and who we recommend this system for. Let's dive in. Now, the main selling point for the eufy Cam-E system that eufy sent to us is that it comes with a home base that will store your footage for you, and you can access that footage over the internet, as well as the cameras don't have to be plugged in, and they have a battery life of 365 days. You heard that right, 365 days. So you charge them up once, place them outside, and then you don't have to worry about them again for another year, which is pretty nice. The cameras are also IP65 waterproof, so they should be able to withstand the elements if you decide to put them outside. Just make sure they're within range of your Wi-Fi. When I first opened up the device, I was actually pretty impressed with the overall packaging. It's very similar to the packaging you get on a lot of Google products nowadays, meaning it's well thought out and easy to open. The setup was easy to understand and execute, though I did have one hiccup where my phone was on the same Wi-Fi as the home base, but my phone couldn't actually find the home base. Luckily, the home base does have a QR code on its underside that the app can scan, and then you can connect to it that way. I also had an issue adding the camera to the home base the first time I tried it. I decided to wait until the camera had a full charge and see if that fixed my issue, and indeed that did fix my pairing issue. So after I paired the cameras to the home base, the rest of the setup was pretty much done. You just decide where to place the cameras and then the system will handle the rest. All right, well, that was the setup experience. Now let's go ahead and dive into some of the main features of this system. It's comprised of two elements, the cameras and the home base. As we said before, the cameras are battery operated and the batteries last for 365 days or longer. The kit comes with a charging cable that you can plug into the home base to charge the cameras overnight. Note, you can only charge one camera at a time from the home base. The home base acts as the central hub for the system. It houses the main alarm and the micro SD card that stores all of the footage the cameras capture locally. This means there is no monthly subscription costs like other popular services out there like the Nest cams, but eufy does offer a cloud storage subscription, which you can find more information about in the app. The cameras have a 1080p resolution with a 140-degree wide-angle view. They also include a night mode as well, though in situations where the camera is pointed out of a window where it's completely dark outside, you're not really going to see much in that scenario. But they do work well if they're pointed at exterior walls on your residence to try to capture somebody lurking around your property. The cameras also include a speaker as well, so you can talk to people outside of your house using the speaker and mic on the camera. The mic and speaker can be turned off in the camera settings, but be aware you can't physically disconnect the mic from the rest of the device on the camera like you can on devices like Google's Nest Hub Max or Nest Mini. The cameras can be mounted using a magnetic baseplate sphere that they can move around on. Now, if you're afraid that somebody is going to try to mess with your camera, you can enable what's called an anti-theft detection mode. And what this mode will do is allow your camera to blare a 100 decibel alarm if somebody tries to remove the camera from its mount. If motion is detected on one of your cameras, you'll get a notification immediately on your mobile phone from the app. The application is pretty simple. When you first open the app, the first thing you're going to see are the two cameras, their battery, Wi-Fi status, and then easy access to be able to snooze notifications from one of the cameras, as well as a shortcut to get to your home base settings. If you click on one of the camera windows, it'll bring up the live feed from that camera. You can pinch and zoom to make the image larger, hit the record button to record the footage you're currently viewing from the camera, mute the sound coming from the camera's microphone. You can also push to talk through the camera, take a snapshot of the current view by hitting the scissor icon, which, yes, is a really weird icon choice for that functionality, and you can also click the menu button to trigger an alarm, turn the night vision on or off, as well as get to the camera settings and see recorded events. The camera settings page shows quite a few different settings you can toggle on and off, including turning on and off the camera, toggling on or off the LED status light, the night vision, anti-theft detection, snooze shortcut, and the logo watermark. You can also change the camera working modes, where the camera will limit the recording clip length to 20 seconds, optimal surveillance mode, which limits the clip recordings to 60 seconds, and customized recording, which allows you to customize the length of the recorded clips. Also in settings, you can toggle on or off motion detection, and you can also see a guide for monitoring your camera as well. The app will also show you the available storage you have available in the home-based settings. And if you click on the events tab in the app, you'll be able to see all of the recorded events. Though I wish there was an option for a list view that just listed out all the events you have recorded versus the way the app is set up now, which makes you scroll through a bunch of date ranges until you find the date that you actually recorded something. When I try to scroll back to footage I know I recorded months ago, for whatever reason it just doesn't load, and I'm pretty sure that the system didn't delete it automatically, and I know I didn't delete it manually. So regardless, I think this part of the experience, trying to get back to footage that you know you recorded months ago, I think that could be improved. The security tab shows you different modes that you can set your home to. Home mode, away, disarmed, geofencing beta, and schedule. If it's in home mode or obviously disarm mode, these modes make it hard to actually trigger your system. Now, the last thing I want to mention feature-wise before I wrap up my thoughts on this device is there is now a Google Assistant and Amazon Assistant integration with the eufy Cam-E system, and you can get to the settings for those integrations in the eufy app. I set mine up in the Google Assistant app, where you just search for eufy security and then link your eufy security account to your Google Assistant account. And you can do a similar process with Amazon's Assistant. Now, for my example, after linking my Google Assistant account with my eufy account, I can then add the cameras to my home in the Google Home app. And then I can access their feed from smart devices like a Nest Hub Max or a TV with a Chromecast connected to it. I haven't tested this functionality as much as some of the other features with this system, since this feature is still pretty new and in beta, but overall it's worked well for me, and it's been one of my favorite features of this system in general. All right, now let's move on to my recommendations with this system. I think the eufy Cam-E system is a pretty good system for somebody to get if you want a system that was not designed primarily as a cloud-based system. eufy does offer a cloud service if you want one, in addition to the local storage option. For me, I use this system mainly to check on my garage across the street just to confirm whether or not the garage door is open or closed. Now, the main benefits of the system and where the system really plays well in the market, I think, is for people who want home monitoring and security features of a camera system but don't necessarily need a cloud-based system, and people who just don't need the latest cutting-edge features. That's where I think this system plays really nicely, and at $250, I actually think that's pretty reasonable for what you get with this system. Anyways, well, those are my thoughts on the eufy Cam-E system. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button below and subscribe to the channel to see more product review videos like this one. For 6 months later, I'm Josh Tedder. Thanks again for watching.